Hello and welcome to Gaga Knits. My name's Anita and this is where I share my knitting, crochet, sewing, crafts and life in general. Thanks for coming to spend some time with me. This is my November episode, so we are on Monday the 28th of November and I hope you've had a nice month. Mine has been quite busy. So I have split this video. I recorded a little bit last week and some this week. So I'm hoping it's not too bitty, but I just didn't think I'd get it all done in one day. November's been quite busy, like I say. So at the beginning, 5th of November, remember the 5th of November, we had bonfire night and my youngest grandson Jack came to stay because his older brother Harry went to the rugby with his parents. So we had sparklers and a friend in work gave me a good tip to push the end of the sparkler into a carrot to make it safer for the little ones to hold. So Jack enjoyed waving his sparklers around. We made a guy to go on our bonfire. Jack really enjoyed that. Who's that, Jack?
A guy.
Guy Fawkes. And what are we going to do with him?
Burn him.
Burn him on the fire.
Yeah.
And then we had some fireworks, but because he doesn't like loud bangs, we just had quiet fireworks. And our friends came over to share the evening with us, and the fireworks were going up in the air and we were going, ooh. And then because there was no bang, we didn't do the, oh, we just sort of went, ooh, oh. But Jack loved it. So, and his favourite part, he said, were the fireworks. So there we are. So we did that. And then it was Martin's birthday. And then we had Jack's 4th birthday and we did a little buffet for him. And Martin and I have been to Cardiff to do some Christmas shopping. And then this last weekend, I went to a wreath making class with some friends from work. So we went out for lunch first, Sunday lunch, to the Pottery Cafe in Ueni. And then we went to Merthyr Mawr. Now I've taken you to that village before. It's beautiful chocolate box village with thatched cottages, absolutely beautiful. And there's a place there called Ton Farm and she does wreath making. So we were all in this large polytunnel and she showed us how to make our wreaths. And we started off with just the metal circle, and then we had to all had wire and we had to wrap straw all around the circle of wire, and then we added the foliage. And all over the polytunnel and outside there were fir trees, there was all sorts of things, holly, and we had honesty plants. I'm looking here because mine's here. I've got to go and put it in the bath later because you've got to soak it for 20 minutes. But I will put some pictures in. We had a lovely time. It's really good, very enjoyable. And now I have a homemade wreath to put on my front door for Christmas. Another baby has been born, and this time another little boy. And I asked the new mum if there was anything she would like me to knit or sew or crochet, and she said she would really like a car seat blanket because you can't really get them the right size. They're too big, and I knew the exact pattern because I'd made it before, and it is a free pattern. Well, I say it's a free pattern on Ravelry, but you go to Ravelry and then you're linked to the website, and it's called the Crochet Baby Car Seat Blanket. And she asked for white, but I asked if I could do it in a few colours, and this is my version here. And what's nice about this little blanket, these two little holes, and you can put the seat belt. So in the very newborn baby seats, they've got a harness with a connection, a clicker here. So you can put that through and it holds the blanket in place, and it just covers their legs enough and up to their arms so that they don't have to wear bulky coats or anything in the car. And if they fall asleep in their car seat, you can lift them out and take them into the house and just leave the blanket on. So I'm hoping she'll be pleased with that. All the yarn is Marriner's Aran weight yarn, and it's a little bit stiff at the moment, but I'm going to give it a wash just to make it smell nice and hopefully soften it up a little bit. And that will be going to the new baby. And boy, do they need it at the moment, because here in Wales it is rainy and windy and horrible, like I think it is in most parts of Britain at the moment. So anyway, that's the first one. And the second make is something for my daughter, and I will go and get that and show that to you. Jodie wanted me to make her something out of this book. Now you might have seen this before. I made a fairy for my sister-in-law. They all are quite rude, so if you don't like nakedness or rudeness, switch off for a few minutes. Jodie asked me to make the Sugar Plum fairy. I need to show you a picture where you don't see the pattern. Let me put my hand over some of that, which is that one there. And this is my take on it. People are making really cute makes for Christmas and I'm making rude makes, so I am very sorry, but it was a request. So I always like to make things for people that they ask for. So just, her wand's a bit wonky at the minute. So there she is. She will be on a little thread to hang on their tree. And she's a bit rude. Her skirt doesn't quite cover her private bits. And I just did her hair frizzy because I like that look on the dolls. And it's a little bit like Jodie's hair, but obviously this is nothing like Jodie. And it's got little shoes, and this book, the patterns in this book are really well written. And there's a story running through the book that's quite funny, because it's kind of rude, but it's not. It's the mind it goes into, not the story. Sorry, there's a car going past. But the patterns themselves are really well written. It's quite fiddly to make because it's in DK yarn, and then you knit them on 2.5mm needles to keep it quite sort of, the fabric quite dense. So it can be a little bit tricky in places, but she's got little wings, little boobies. So Jodie be happy with her. And the plan, now I've asked Jodie, can I tell you, because the plan is her husband Matthew, when they put the Christmas tree up, and then my grandsons help them decorate it and everything, Matthew is very particular about the tree. You can't have two baubles together that are the same and things like that. So he's very particular about the tree. So her plan is to hang this in the tree after it's all been done, and to wait to see when he notices it, because I don't think he'll want it in the tree. Although he'll find her funny, he won't want her in the tree. So they are putting their tree up this coming Sunday, which is still November. So I want them to have this. I'll be going up early December to watch Jack's first Christmas concert. So I'll take this up then, and she can put it on the tree. So the tree will have been up for a few days. So hopefully it'll stay on there for a few days before Matthew notices. So I'll let you know how that gets on. And also I'll ask her to take a photo of her on the tree so you can see her on there. Now this month I have been trying to get some objects finished so that I can join along with a Christmas make along that Tina from Simply in Stitches is running. So mostly I have shown you a few things I've already finished, but then when they were done, the thing I've been working on mostly are the Wands socks, and these are by Potter and Bloom, and I have finished them. They are lovely and soft and snuggly. I do have two. Here they are, and my foot is a size 5, and these fit nicely. They're a little bit loose, but it's what I wanted because I want them to be sort of in-house snuggly socks to wear with my pyjamas and things. And the two main reasons I wanted to finish these was because I wanted to join the make along, but also in December my friend Paula and I are going on a coach trip, and we're staying overnight And I wanted to wear these in the hotel room because sometimes the floors in the carpets in the hotel rooms are a little bit cold and I always forget to take slippers. So I'm going to wear these with some nice new pyjamas I have got specially for the trip. And this pattern is a 9-row repeat, but it's really simple. It's mostly knit and purl. There's a couple of yarn overs and a couple of knit togethers. That's all, but it was an interesting make. And then it's just the normal sort of heel flap and gusset heel and then a rounded toe. So really pleased with those. I use the higher 2.25 are they sharps? Oh, I think they're sharps, but it doesn't say. But higher 2.25 needles, and I knitted them 2 at a time. And I did quite well, apart from when I got to the heel. I got a little bit confused. I had to watch a video because I couldn't quite get my head round how I could do both heels at the same time. But I sorted it in the end, thanks to a nice video I watched. And I used the Drops Nord Unicolor, this one, and it is 45% alpaca, 30% polyamide and 25% wool, which is probably why they're so nice and fluffy and soft. So, and it's just, the colour is red, obviously, but just says colour 14. So it's really nice. I definitely use that yarn again because it was really nice to work with, soft and fluffy. And these are going to be really snuggly. And welcome to my bedroom. I thought it'd be easier to show you what I've made up here. I made this month, I made the Somerset t-shirt by Maven Patterns, and I particularly like the bishop sleeve and the deep cuff. That's what attracted me to the pattern. I bought this when I was at Wonderwool earlier on in the year at the Lunar Lapping stall, and they had excuse me, they had this pattern made up and I absolutely fell in love with it and wanted to make one myself. So I made the size 14 and the version D, the bishop sleeve with the deep cuff. There are several different versions, but that's the one I wanted particularly to make. Here's my version. I think the fabric's from Minerva Crafts. I shall double check and put it in the notes. And here is what I loved about it, the bishop sleeve, and it's a lovely fit. It's size 14, I'm not sure if I said that already. And the patterns, I've not used one of these patterns before, the Maven patterns, but I definitely would again. I wish I'd found these patterns when I first started sewing because they are so informative and helpful, and she even tells you the stitch length or the suggested stitch length that she used. She said you might need to use another one, but different hints and tips all the way through. Really holds your hand, which is something I particularly like, and I will definitely be making more of these. I have taken a few photos to put on Instagram, but I might try and get a few better ones once the weather's improved. Although I do these videos, I do not like having my photo taken, but I will try so that you can see it in all its glory, and there will definitely be more of these in my future. I have also been working on Jack's quilt. Now here it is. It's 3 squares by 3 squares, and I have now sewn the wadding and the backing on this lovely brushed cotton, and I'll put the details here. It's really beautiful and suggested to me by Penny from Penny's Chinwag, so thank you for that. And now I've just got to put the border on, and I have cut the strips ready, so I'm going to watch a video on how to get nice neat corners, try my best. When I stitched sandwiched the 3 pieces together, the top, the wadding and the back, I used my grandma's lovely sewing machine, and she hasn't got a name yet, But I thought I would do is look up the most popular girl's name for 1938, which is when she was gifted, and I will use that as her name. So she did all these stitches, but they're all, they aren't in line. But when Jack came over the other day and I showed him just the top, he was so excited to have this quilt. He doesn't care that it's wonky. It's the thought that counts, and it's going to keep him nice and warm, and it's got all his favourite characters on. So I'm hoping that I'm going to film again next week as well, that I will have finished that, because I do plan to do that today. It's my day off. I'm very lucky. I work part-time now and I have Mondays and Tuesdays off, and I used to go up and pick the boys up from school, but I don't do that anymore, so I just have them in the school holidays. And I have I'm meant to have Monday to myself to do crafts, and Tuesday I go visit my mum and do various other things. I have started doing online food shopping. I don't know if any of you do that, just to save a bit of time, and it's an easier way to keep an eye on your money, because it's just much easier just to type in your shopping list. I always do a meal plan shopping list, so I just type it in. And last week we used Tesco, but for our area all the different delivery slots are all £4.50, which I think is quite a lot of money myself. So this week we've tried Asda, and it was £2 delivery if they delivered Sunday night between 8 and 9. And Jodie said, oh, do the later slots, because they always come early because it's job and finish. Well, they didn't. They came about 8:30, and unfortunately some of the items that I ordered they didn't have. Now I know you expect that, but one was a chicken, one was mincemeat. They replaced things. For example, I wanted this mould spray. If you know, you get damp patches and you spray this mould spray and it takes off, and they gave me the substitute was degreaser. So anyway, I had to then pop out to the supermarket this morning in all this awful weather to get a chicken, which we were meant to be having for dinner tonight. Thought I'd make a nice cooked dinner for the workers while I'm at home enjoying myself. So that didn't work out that well, but I don't think it's so much that it was Asda that was the problem. I think it was just that Sunday night at that time they've run out of things, so I shall try them again, but see if I can get an earlier delivery but still a cheaper delivery, because you know it all adds on to the bill, doesn't it? December, I have finished a little Christmas project several years ago, I think it was. I had a Christmas pamper pack, I think it was called, from Sew Unique, and they had some gnome things to make, and I made this coaster. Now she calls them tomties, but here in Wales we just call them gnomes. And I had finished all the front last year or the year before, whenever I had the kit. But it was so nice, and she gives you so much fabric. You've got plenty of leftovers. There's another circle for the back, and I had enough to make that twice. So I never completely finished it. And then when I came across it the other day, I thought, do you know, I'm just going to sew it up, because otherwise I'll never get round to it and always just end up in a drawer. So when I finished it, I showed Martin. He said, oh, nice, a new coaster. And I said, don't you dare put a cup on this coaster. It's just for show, just for show. So there we are. Here he is, very cute. So the rest of my projects are planned projects. One I've already started to join in with Tina from Simply and Stitches. So 1st of December, she's doing a make-along, and there's no prizes. It's just for the fun of people knitting together, and I quite like the idea of that. And she's decided she's going to, I think on the 1st of December she's casting on a pair of socks that she plans to wear on Christmas Day. So I've got that sorted. And then she wants to make a knitted animal out of a book that I made Charlie here from. And I'll show you that in a minute. So this was George the dog. Perhaps I better show you that one first. Let's get the book to show you. And I've got my largest Christmassy project bag to put this one in so that I can keep the book in there as well. So this is the book, Knitted Animal Friends by Louise Crowther. And now this is meant to be George the dog, but this is Charlie in memory of my old English sheepdog that passed away last year. So I tried to customise her to be Charlie's colours, and Charlie used to have one brown eye and one blue eye. But I never got round to making the clothes, even though I did buy the yarn. So Tina's inspired me now. She's making the fox out of this book. Let me show you. And I said, well, I need to make the clothes, so I'll join in, but I will be making the clothes. Well, that's a squirrel. He looks a bit like a fox. Oh, there he is. So she's making Charlotte the fox. And I did George the dog. So let's see how he's supposed to look. There's George the dog. But I'm not doing those clothes. I'm going to do the dungarees, because even though Charlie's a girl dog, I have 2 grandsons, so I didn't think they particularly want to play with her if she was in a dress, although the dresses are very cute. But I have sacrificed the fact that I would love to make the girls' clothes, and instead I'm going to make the dungarees. Oh, let's see. They haven't got a full picture, just the dungarees, but there they are on No Other Horse. So I'm making those dungarees, and I'm kind of using the recommended yarn because it is the Scapiers, but they didn't have the actual colourway that she had in the book. So this one is Cyrus, I think it's called, colour 110. Scapiers Sky's Light. So I think that will look denim-y enough, and it's quite nice because it's sort of variegated, so it won't be just really plain. And then I was thinking, I've got some of the charity Christmas little badges, so I thought she could put those on there. I have got the other yarn to make the little t-shirt, blue and white, so if I get a chance I'll make that as well. And I would really like to make the mustard anorak that's in here, because, well, all the clothes are cute, but the anorak is just so sweet. But I haven't got the yarn for that, so that might be something for next year. So Charlie's really excited to be getting some clothes at last. So I'm going to be doing that one to join in with Tina. Now she's starting her fox on the 2nd, and then on the 3rd she's starting a jumper that she threw in because she wasn't going to do that at first, but I have a plan for that as well. So these are the socks that I'm going to do. And this lovely bag was from Crafty Clegg's Creations because I had an advent from her, I think last year. I'm sort of lost between which year I've got things, and I haven't got any advents this year apart from a chocolate one, because our boss always buys us a chocolate advent calendar. So I'm going to do these socks, and they are called I Smell Snow. And I don't know if you can see them that well, but the little sort of lace pattern down the side is meant to look like snowflakes. Now I haven't got the yarn yet because I have been ordering, I ordered some crochet hooks from Ellie at Craft House Magic, and she always puts in a little skein of yarn. Now I thought it was lovely that she does it, but I always thought it was to promote the colours that she's got, so that you know, you might be encouraged to go on her in her shop and buy some more. But apparently not. It's just because she's a lovely lady and she's very kind. So this one came with the cable hooks and it was so nice. It's got little neps in it like snow and they're just such pretty colours, not overly Christmas colours, but I just thought that was very Christmassy. So I went on her website to look to see if I could get a full skein, and she hasn't actually got any of this made up, but it's the actual colourway to me looks like her Rock Me Amadeus colourway, and then she has a couple of skeins or different colourways that have these sort of neps in, but she didn't have this. So I did message her about it and she said that she'll try and make some up for me. And I know she was having a break last week, so she wasn't in the shop or anything, but hopefully she'll be back and she will sort that out for me soon. And as soon as it arrives, I can start working on that. So that it'll probably, if she can do it, probably be maybe the end of the first week of December and I can start. So it doesn't really matter because those socks are quite plain. The only real pattern is the little lacy bit, so they should knit up quite quickly. And this time I'm just using DPNs. I'm not going to do magic loop because it is nice that they get finished at the same time, but they do seem to take forever. And it's nice just knitting one sock and getting it finished and then doing the other one. So that's my other sock, my other project to join in with Tina. And then my last project is one I've started already, but like I say, it's just a fun make along. So, you know, there aren't really any rules. And I am making the Poppy Sweater by Susan Crawford. And here it is. I was planning to lower the neck because I don't really like them that high. I did try and do the maths and I kind of worked it out, but I'm not going to because I'm a little bit scared that I might have done it, well, I might be wrong, and then it'll be all into the colour work and then I won't be able to undo it. So I'm just going to go with that. But I am going to make the sleeves longer because I really don't get why you'd have knitwear with short sleeves, because if it's cold enough to wear a jumper, surely it's cold enough that you need sleeves. But each to their own. That's what I would like, either 3/4 or I think I'll probably do 3/4 because I'm not sure how much yarn I'll have. But I have been working on that and I am doing, what size am I doing? I am doing the 3rd size, which is size 38. And the yarn I am using is King Cole Merino Blend 4-ply. There it is. And this one's shade Biscuit, and I think I've shown you the colours that I'm going to do for the colour work, but I'll show that again next time when I get onto that. And it's 100% superwash wool. So it's knit in pieces. So I'm doing the back. I have started the armhole shaping, and I think I've got about 3 more rows, and then I start the colour work. So that's going to be my jumper to join in on the make along, even though it's started already. I won't finish this in December anyway, because I have another project that isn't in the make along, but I want to do first really, because well, I'm going to cast it on today, I think, because it is, I shall have to put a picture on the screen because I haven't printed the pattern off, and it is the Happy Holidays tree skirt. It's a crochet pattern and I've wanted to do it for absolutely ages, and I've got all the yarn here from, this is all Marriner Aran, like the baby car seat blanket I did, and then I've got a 6.5 clover crochet hook, which was one of the ones that I got from Ellie, Craft House Magic. And the Happy Holidays tree skirt is a free pattern. You can find it on Ravelry, but I think it's paid for on Ravelry, but you can click a link and go to the website and the pattern is on there for free. So I want to do that one first because I've got an artificial tree and I've wanted to do one of those for ages, and I have been having a little look around the shops and they're quite expensive tree skirts and they're not really all that big. So I thought I'll make my own. It's a bit strange doing the video like this because now I'm going to show you books. Well, I'll put that at the end, although it's not right at the end when I'm filming it. But that's the beauty of editing, isn't it? So I've bought 2 new books this month that I thought you might be interested in. The first one is from Mary Jane Baxter and it's called Sew on the Go. And it was recommended on the Fold line by Kate on the Fold line. And I bought this from World of Books, so I bought it second hand. It's actually signed by the author, so that's quite nice. And basically, it was quite several years ago, this lady, Mary Jane, was made redundant, and at the same time she inherited some money and she decided to buy a camper van and to travel around Europe and Britain sewing, doing little sewing workshops and just visiting places and having a bit of an adventure. So she bought a Bambi, I knew I'd forget the name of the man. She bought a Bedford Bambi van, customised it like that and toured around in it. Well, I haven't got very far yet. I'm only on chapter 4. So she is just back in Brussels, it says there. So it's quite a good book. I haven't really got into it yet, but I have to be in the mood for certain books. So I started reading that, but then I also bought this book called Extreme Frugality, Save Money Like Your Grandma, How to Live a Creative, Happy and Sustainable Life on Much Less. And it's from Jane Berry, and she's Shoestring Jane on Instagram. And that's not a crafty YouTube. She's Shoestring Jane on YouTube. She's not a crafty YouTube. It's all about saving money and being more sustainable and things. And I just thought with the current climate, it would be quite interesting to try and see if there's any tips and things that I don't already do. I think pretty good. And this is her first book, and she's self-published on Amazon. So it's £10, and I thought I'm really enjoying it. So I've got I've just read that much really, but I am enjoying it. It's quite interesting, and it's interesting to see somebody else's take on things. And a lot of the things, I do that already. So, but there are a few tips, things I think, I'll have to give that a try. They're not too, when you say frugality, extreme frugality, it sounds as if it's going to be really extreme, but it's not really. I think it's probably a lot of things we either know we should do or we do already. But anyway, I thought you might be interested in that one, or it might make a good gift for somebody for Christmas. So that's everything I'm doing at the moment or got planned. I'm quite busy again in December because the first week of December is my Works Christmas do. The second weekend I go away. Paula and I are going to Ludlow on this coach trip one day, and Bliss Hill Victorian Christmas experience. I think that's in Bliss Hill Museum. So we're really looking forward to that. And then the following week is our last week in work, and one of the ladies in work is in a choir, so we're going to see her Christmas concert. So that'll be nice, feel Christmassy, and then it'll be Christmas. So it is approaching rapidly. I haven't got any decorations up or anything yet. I don't put my tree up until about 2 weeks before Christmas, so I think I'm probably the last person. I remember my grandma used to say that they used to put their Christmas tree up on Christmas Eve. So they used to do that, and neighbours used to come in for a little drink, and then it was all done then. So I'm not that bad. But 2 weeks before Christmas, and I take it all down 2 weeks after. So have a happy December. I'm really looking forward to watching all the Vlogmases. I'm not doing it, but I am going to participate by watching and commenting on everybody else's. And I hope you manage to get some crafting done and you don't get too stressed over this busy period. And I will see you at the end of December. Bye.